Hello my loves, what's up, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, and this one is all about a yes or no question. So think about any question that you have in your mind that you desire to know about, and then you're going to take a look at the 5 different piles that we have over here, and you're going to decide which one you are the most drawn to for your particular question. So think about your question, have that energy in your mind, and then think about which card here resonates with you the most. So over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can take a moment, you can pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn towards for your particular question. And then once you're done choosing your pile, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the description box, as well as the comment box that you can scroll down towards, and then you can click on your particular group, because there will be linked timestamps down there, and then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your yes or no question. If you like to choose with crystals on the cards, then let's go ahead and pop some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, if you'd like to choose with crystals on the cards, then here are our crystal options. Over here on group number 1, we have this beautiful malachite crystal. And then over here on group number 2, we have this gorgeous quartz heart. Then over here on group number 3, we have this zeolite cluster. Then over here on group number 4, we have this gorgeous piece of amethyst. Then on group number 5, we have this it's like agate, but it is coated in angel aura. So it's an angel aura agate heart. So those are our options. So again, take a moment to pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that is going to be linked to your particular group, your particular card. And then you can go and skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about the answer to your yes or no question. We're going to try to get as much detail as possible and all that kind of jazz. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. All right, so group number 1, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be a reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group 1, here's what we have for you. We start off with the 3 of Wands, then we have the Strength card, the Death card, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and then the 2 of Cups over here. So immediately, these are some really great cards. Immediately, I'm getting a yes to whatever question it is that you are asking. Although it does look like there's a little bit of a journey ahead of you. Kind of still. It does look like this is possibly something that you've been waiting or anticipating for maybe a little bit of time now, especially since we start off with the 3 of Wands. This talks about, you know, like making plans to move ahead and gathering the right resources, and maybe even waiting until certain people are on the same page as you, maybe waiting for certain people to catch up or to connect to in order to bring you to this yes. But whatever is going on here, it does look like there's possibly other people involved, maybe another person that maybe we're waiting on or waiting for. So this, I do feel like a yes. There's a little bit of a journey still ahead of you. It's going to require a little bit of patience, and it's going to require you to undergo some changes along this journey. I think Spirit set you up for a particular journey in this lifetime, and there's still some things that need to kind of be completed before you kind of get to your happy ending, basically. So this could be things that we need to learn, lessons that we need to go through, all sorts of different stuff. But what I can say is you are going to reach your goal. You are going to reach your end game, the thing that you are desiring, the thing that you're wanting. So it does look like it's ending in a yes, but yeah, Spirit kind of set up a certain journey for you, and Spirit's really coming through strong right now, trying to say that it's important to enjoy this journey rather than just try super hard to get to the end goal here. It's going to be really important to enjoy the journey for you, group number 1, because there's going to be certain things that are going to happen that are really going to develop you into the person that you need to be in order to attain whatever this is. So right now, The Strength card is asking you to practice patience, but to also kind of just like shine in your light and your confidence in knowing like, yes, you're gonna get there. But the world is kind of strengthening you right now, kind of preparing you right now to be who you need to be in order to get whatever it is that you're desiring, in order to kind of become who you need to be, right? And yeah, there's definitely gonna be some changes that you're undergoing. And these are gonna be some powerful changes. I do think once you go through this change though, there's gonna be a certain change that you do go through, and it's coming for you kind of like decently soon. Right when that does come, this sort of like, I don't know, desire that you're wanting is gonna come in very quickly for you. The Knight of Swords right here is one of the fastest, if not the fastest moving card in all of tarot, other than the Eight of Wands. So whatever this is gonna come through very quickly. We also have the Page of Pentacles here. It's kind of a slow burn for whatever this thing is that you're desiring or wanting. It's coming in really fast, but it's also like gonna take time to kind of develop into the fullness of what you're wanting it to be. It's not gonna take a lot of time, but it's definitely gonna take some time. It's not gonna happen like overnight, basically. It's gonna take some like journey to kind of like create it, you know? It's almost like falling in love. I wanna use that example here just because we have the Two of Cups. But it doesn't mean that this is like absolutely what it is that you're asking about, but it's almost like falling in love, right? You don't want to just like jump right into marriage on your first date, right? Because that's like not healthy, and we're not getting to know each other, and we're not developing a strong foundation, right? And you know, sometimes it does work, sometimes, but it's really rarely that jumping into a marriage really soon really works out for most people. You know, most people, they really need to kind of go through developing a strong foundation with somebody. You can't just jump right into something and expect it to be like complete like commitment right off the bat, right? So it takes time to develop these things, whatnot and whatnot. So that sort of example I want to use for you and your goal, whatever it may be. It may be a career goal, it may be a love goal, it may be a whatever goal, it may be whatever it is that you're asking about. It could be anything, right? You could be asking about anything. But whatever it is that you're asking about needs some development time and needs time to create that proper foundation, and it requires you to kind of, you know, go through certain changes where maybe we need to let go of certain aspects of ourselves and kind of like go through some transformations and all sorts of jazz like that. So this is definitely something that's cultivating, and I can say that you are absolutely going to reach this end goal at some point in your life. I don't think it's going to take that long, because what we have here is it's going to come very quick as you begin to just, you know, practice patience and kind of just like allow life to kind of guide you there, because life is guiding you there right now. And maybe, you know, sometimes we kind of feel lost on our journeys to where we want to go, and we're like, I don't see how I'm on the path, I don't even understand. The Spirit really wants you to know is like you're already on that path, and they are divinely guiding you there, because this is something maybe that you're meant to reach at some point in your life. You're kind of like meant to kind of, this end goal is meant to come to fruition, basically. But the universe has this kind of divinely prepared, it's divinely guided, it's divinely happening. So just as you kind of just go along with life, the universe is going to bring ships by you, it's going to bring opportunities by you, it's going to bring all the right things to you necessary for your journey. So the universe is taking care of this, it's got you. As long as, you know, you keep that end goal in sight, but don't cling on to it too tightly. It's just like know and trust that it is happening, you're getting there, okay? It's like part of life, you're getting there. So with that being said, the next two cards that we have over here, we have the card of authenticity. So maybe something along the lines of you attaining this goal, or something along the lines of your question is really requiring you to be more open, and to just really shine who you are, to really trust in yourself, and to also just start to really own who you are, start to love who you are, and start to practice authenticity. You know, like, I'm also going to just use the example of falling in love here, because it's like the example that we've been using. But, you know, when you meet somebody and you just want to like show them your best right off the bat, and like, you know, try to just be your best all the time. But then as time goes on, we get more comfortable being ourselves. It's important to practice authenticity right away so that we're not like blindsiding someone off the bat, pretending that we have no flaws or whatever. It's kind of really important to practice authenticity. You know, you don't need to be like overly blunt about it or anything like that, but it's just kind of like starting to know who you are and developing who you are to where you're really comfortable being you and, you know, accepting your flaws and things like that. So that's something that's also kind of coming through right now in the cards is about speaking very openly and honestly is something that's kind of coming through here, and being more honest, and also listening more, because both of these cards deal with the throat chakra. So this can be listening more. This could even be learning more, or even talking to other people more who've maybe already attained your goal or got to where you want to go. Maybe just like discussing things with people more, being more vulnerable, is kind of going to help you through this. And it's also going to help you kind of get to your goal, is to kind of like, yeah, have more conversations around whatever this is what's kind of coming through right now. This can also be learning. So there's like some kind of learning that needs to happen. We also have the card here of abundance. So yes, it's coming. And the number 2 is really sticking out to me. So this is some kind of union. So maybe other people are involved in whatever this is, and other people are going to help you along this journey. Maybe this involves another person. Maybe we're waiting for someone to kind of like, I don't know, do whatever, you know, whatever this question is might involve somebody else. But also with the abundance card, like, I really think that whatever it is that you are asking about, it's going to be bigger and better in the end. Like, it's going to be bigger and better than what you're currently desiring, the current outcome that you're desiring to have in your life. There's somehow, I keep hearing the words bigger and better. And more abundance. And the universe, the reason why you're going on this journey is because you deserve more abundance, and you need to kind of maybe learn what it is that you're worthy of. maybe you have to learn what it is that you actually truly desire, right? Getting a clear mind on what it is that you truly want. There also might be something that you need to cut out of your life, I want to say. The Death card and the Knight of Swords, there might be something that you need to cut out of your life. So for example, if this does deal with love, I keep wanting to go back to that example just because it's the example that we're using the most, but like, if this does deal with love, right? Maybe we need to cut out some exes from our lives, because maybe it's like, would you really want to start dating somebody who's still like constantly hanging out with their ex and things like that? Like, that's just uncomfortable, right? So, for example, maybe there's certain things that you need to really cut out of your life. And the universe is kind of guiding you here to be like, hey, maybe we got to make some changes. Because if we're wanting to, you know, develop to this next step, we're going to need to make some changes in our lives, right? So that's just an example. So whatever it is that you're asking about, whatever it is that you're going through, there could be something that you really need to cut out of your life and to transform in your life so that you can have a brand new kind of beginning, because the pages are all about like the starting of something. So this is starting off on a fresh foot and starting off on a new foundation, because the Pentacles are our foundation. So there's something here that needs to start off on a brand new foot, a brand new foundation. We're gonna need to cut some things out of our lives, make some changes, go through some shifts. And even if you don't know what those shifts are right now, the universe is divinely guiding you here. So you're gonna get here no matter what. And whatever this is gonna be revealed to you along the way. So yeah. The next 2 cards, we have intention. Also, we have a lot of number 2s coming up. We have the 2 of Cups, the 2 here. We have the 22. So angel number 22, like 222 is coming through for you, group number 1. So this deals with union. This deals with partnership. This deals with things like that. And also connecting you to the path of your desire. So the fact that I have intention coming through, I really think that the universe is trying to tell you right now, we hear your intention. We understand what it is that you desire. They've already heard your wishes in the wind, kind of just like those, you know, those puff balls that you blow and they seed out. It's kind of like those seeds have already been planted. The seeds are already flying in the wind. They're just waiting to take root right now and to grow into their own blossom, their own dandelion, their own thing, you know what I mean? So it's already flying in the wind. Your intention has already been put out, and it is floating right now to where it needs to go. This is you floating where you need to go. So it's already on its path. It is coming Also, the owl is standing on the egg, and the egg is all about a birth as well. So your dream right now is being fertilized. It's just waiting to grow. It hasn't hatched yet, but it's going to, because it's already been done. The universe wants you to know it's already been done. It's already in the making. It's literally in the making. So yeah, and then the owl right here deals with knowledge. So there's things that we need to learn along the way. We're currently going through the development stage of our dream, of our desire. We're going through the development stage of that. So that's another thing that's kind of coming through. We also have ghost lands. Ooh. So it might feel like you're in a period right now of being very unsure about this thing coming in, because ghost lands is making me feel like maybe you are in a place of your life where you're kind of like really questioning if this is ever going to happen. And I want you to know that it is. Just like what we were saying before with this card, like it's actually already in the making. It's already happening. It's something that's meant to happen for you. But it might feel like you're in this stage of like being frozen, feeling like nothing's happening right now, but it is. And there could also be a period where it kind of feels like you're going through that. Also, ghost lands is very similar to this death card, because like they're both very like transformative and ghostly and things like that. So this could also mean that certain things in your life need to transform and need to kind of have their ending. There's certain things in your life that need to have their ending. They need to become, leave the ghosts of your past in the past. It's time to leave the ghosts of your past in the past and really start to move on. And this could also be letting the doubts of your past like fade away as well. You might need to go through some healing, some transformative healing around your past in order to make this kind of like come to full fruition. The next few cards that we have here, we have the love card coming up. Some of you guys really might be asking about love, especially since I keep like being drawn to talk about that. And the fact that we have the love card coming up and we have the Two of Cups, like this could very well deal with love for a lot of you. If not, it's still relevant either way. This is just something that maybe your heart is like, has a burning passion for. So it could be career, it could be all sorts of things. But yeah, it's like the universe hears that your heart has this burning desire for whatever this is, and this is going to come in. And I think that when this does come in, it's going to really like set your heart on fire. It's going to be in a good way. It's going to be very positive. And so again, this is just another card that I feel like is confirming a very much yes, this is coming in. It's going to be really great. We also have ancestors. So something's taking root. Those seeds that are blowing in the wind, our intentions that are blowing in the wind, they're going to be taking root and they're going to be growing. This is something that's like meant to be. Also, the ancestors card is making me feel like this is something that like is already part of your life's blueprint. I don't know, like this might sound a little bit esoteric, especially if some of you aren't really into like the super esoteric stuff, but like when we're on the other side and we're planning to like reincarnate on Earth, some of us make like blueprints of like the things that we want to do in our lives. And this ancestors card is really making me feel like this, whatever this is that you're desiring to attain is like part of your blueprint to attain. So don't worry about it too much. It's going to be happening. And I really think that you have your spirit team that's like helping you, guide you to this. And I was feeling that since the beginning, and this ancestors card really kind of confirms that as well, because it's kind of like your spirit team is really coming through being like, hey, I got you. I got your back on this. We're going to make this happen. And then we also have the card of play. I think that this is like the universe's way of being like, just enjoy yourself for the time being. Like, don't focus so hard on this end goal that you kind of miss the life that you have in front of you right now, and you miss the experiences right now. Because again, life is about the journey, not the destination. That's like the quote that I could just like slap onto this pile because it's so fitting, and it's like, enjoy the journey, because when you get to this destination, like you don't want to just waste time living in a state of lack, wishing so hard that you're going to get to this destination. You're going to get here. It's part of your blueprint. Like, you're going to get here. This is your confirmation if you need it. This is your confirmation group number 1. You're going to get here. And even these 2 dolphins that we have right here is another symbol of this sort of like union that's happening and this connection between you and whatever this desire is. So like, enjoy your time being right now, because it is coming, and there's no sense in wasting precious time. Life is short. Don't waste the year that you have in front of you while you wait for this thing to kind of like happen. So yeah, I guess the message is like, just don't waste it. Don't waste it. I'm also getting some like air sign energy when I'm looking at this Knight of Swords, and we also have the Page of Pentacles, which makes me get some earth sign energy coming through here. We do also have a little bit of Leo and Scorpio energy, so just wanted to kind of point that out for those that may be relevant for. I'm also gonna go ahead and shuffle a couple more cards here just to get any last info on this reading. So let's see, any last guidance for group 1? Any last guidance here for group number 1? The Anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. So yeah, it's like you've already been sort of initiated. And I think the universe is giving you signs. Like, it's time to just like be the leader and like just start living your life. I'm really getting this feeling of just start living your life. You've already been crowned with whatever this is. You're gonna get here. Just enjoy life. Just enjoy life until you get there. You know what I mean? Just enjoy life until you get there. Let's see what else you get. Group number 1. Grand Trine of Blessings, it is definitely coming in. And I really think that with the Grand Trine energy, this is going to be more powerful. Like, the universe is setting you up for more than what you're asking for. You're asking for something right now. You're desiring something to get somewhere. The universe is giving you more than what you're asking for. The universe has more in store for you than what you're currently wishing for. So enjoy it while it comes. Cut the things out of your life that need to be cut out, because it's going to be well worth it. You don't need those things anyway, especially if they're holding you back, which there's certain things that are, you know what I mean? We also have Black Moon Lilith of Mystery. So yeah, the universe is like, this is something that's kind of going to remain a little bit of a mystery to you until it actually kind of like unfolds and happens. And it's meant to kind of remain a little bit of a mystery. It's not meant to like be known all up front. And this is also kind of like, yeah, this is really, it's going to unfold in a very kind of mysterious, fun kind of way for you. So just go along with it. And, you know, be strong too. What I'm getting with this Grand Trine, because triangles are the strongest shape, is be strong. Be that strength. See yourself as that strong person. We even have that strength card. The universe really right now wants you to be strong. There's certain areas where maybe we felt a little weak in when it deals with maybe getting rid of certain things in our lives, maybe getting rid of bad habits, toxic patterns, toxic people, exes, things like this that might be holding us back. And the universe right now is teaching you how to be strong and to also stick to your word, right? Because we had that throat chakra stuff, authenticity. Stick to your word. Be authentic, speak your truth, and uphold your truth too, because that's what's really honorable. I think the universe right now is kind of like teaching you how to be maybe a little bit more honorable, kind of stick to your word, and also kind of like have that strong backbone as well, because it really needs you to have that. It needs you to have strong roots to kind of root yourself where you really need to be, have the strength to cut away things in your life, and to become a very strong person where you know that you're going to attain whatever it is that you desire, and you have no problem cutting away the things that are holding you back. Like, it's time to get rid of the ball and chain. If you're trying to get to your goal, but you're still just like, oh, but this ball and chain is like kind of nice, it's comforting. No. It's time to cut those things away, you know what I mean? Like, be a little bit of like a rebel for a second and notice like, hey, there's things that I really want to do, And there's certain things that are holding you back. And I think you know it deep down inside that there's certain things that might be holding you back, that it's really time to start to change. And it's also time to become really strong. Some of you, there could be certain things that the universe is trying to tell you that there's a direction or a thing that maybe we need to kind of like start doing or adding to our lives, and we kind of need the willpower to kind of like do it, whether that be like studying, learning more, going to the gym, eating healthy. There's certain things that I think your body's trying to tell you that you need to kind of become and step up to in order to kind of like become the energy that you need to be in order to attain whatever it is that you're desiring. And it's time to finally like put in the dedication, the willpower, and have the strength to kind of like stick to whatever it is that you're saying that you're gonna do, and the things that you know deep down inside that you need to do, okay? So that is what we have here for you. Group number 1, that's what we have for your answer. I hope that made sense for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Right, so group number 2, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading. This is going to be the answer to your yes or no question, so we'll hop right into it. All right, so group 2, here's what we have for you. We have the Sun being reversed, Akashic Records, perspective, 8 of Wands, Page of Swords, and then the 10 of Wands over here. So first thing I want to mention, the Sun being reversed is actually still a really amazing card, even in the reversed position. It is one of those cards that no matter what, it's still like the sun shining, might be a little bit of clouds, but still the sun is shining, if that makes sense. The immediate answer that I'm getting for you, group number 2, and I'm going to explain this further in depth, is a no, but at the same time, yes. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So essentially, whatever it is that you are asking about, there's a slight sort of like no, because I think it's going to be slightly different than what you're expecting. But at the same time, there's still sort of like an achievement here of sort of like getting to a certain place, like either eventually, or it's going to be like slightly different than what you expected, but in a good way. But essentially it's like a no, but a yes. No, but yes. So essentially what we're getting right here is like the sun being reversed kind of made me feel like it's not quite what we expected, but it's still sort of coming. The sun is still shining. We're still sort of getting that yes energy, but it's like slightly clouded. So it's not really like maybe fully what it is that we were wanting. But it's actually going to be for the best, because we have this Akashic Records card right here. And this is making me feel like there is something here that's very meant for you. There's a path here that's very meant for you. And whatever it is that we're currently desiring is like, you know, we're on the right track, but it's not quite like there yet. It's not quite there. There's something maybe that is more meant for us, or there's like a slight outcome that's like more meant for us, or there's something kind of like written in the stars for us that we're needing to kind of go through, and we're currently on that stepping stone phase. So we're currently on a stepping stone, basically. So group number 2, you're on a stepping stone, you're on your way there, but it's going to be slightly different. And the perspective card is actually the Hangman card. And this basically talks about maybe we feel like it's stalled right now. Maybe we feel like things aren't really moving forward, but it's because we need a shift in perspective. We maybe need to realize we need to shift our path a little bit, and we need to kind of get on a new path, because whatever it is that we're currently sort of looking at or aiming for isn't fully correct. And the example I want to use, which is not an example that's going to apply to all of you, but it's just like a kind of example, I guess. For example, if we are desiring like a certain job, like maybe we're a writer, for example, and we're like, oh, I'm going to write, you know, at this company, and that's the company that I want to write for. What I'm kind of seeing here is the example of like, yes, you're on the right track. You're supposed to be a writer, but not at that company. That's kind of like what I mean by this yes and no. It's like, yes, you're on the right track, but not quite. So it's like an almost. We're almost there. So we're needing like a shift in perspective. So you might realize that on your journey, on your path to whatever it is that you're asking about. So whatever is going on here, it's like kind of yes, but like kind of no. But it's going to shift you in the right direction. So as you begin to shift, as you begin to realize and let go of a particular kind of maybe outcome is what I'm sort of gathering from this. And as you kind of, shift your perspective a little bit, you're going to kind of like realize that things are going to flow so much easier. We have the Eight of Wands, which is one of the fastest moving cards in tarot, and it's about movement happening, things finally moving forward. And so if it feels like you're at a stagnancy right now, it's because we're kind of like not headed quite in the right direction. So we're needing a perspective shift. And if you're wondering like, oh, how do I shift my perspective? How do I see things differently? Maybe start to like do things that are maybe outside of your norm, because that kind of helps us gain ideas and start to think in a different mindset. So maybe like, you know, take a drive on a road that you've never driven down before, and it's kind of going to bring in new thoughts, new ideas, right? Kind of like new stuff. Or like maybe asking other people like, oh, what do you think about this particular situation, or da 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 da. This could even be a situation where we just need to let things kind of unfold for a little bit, and it's going to naturally begin to kind of shift us. But we need to be okay with like letting go of old desired outcomes, like something that we've been maybe clinging on to. We kind of need to let go of it so that we can allow the flow back into our lives. So yeah, just this is gonna bring back flow into your life. We have the Page of Swords over here, which kind of deals with maybe cutting old things away, cutting old things out of our life, and kind of needing to accept like this new road, which I kind of am gaining a little bit of like reluctance from this group. And I'm feeling like a lot of you are very keen on a particular outcome here. And I think that there's this energy here that's sort of saying, but I know what I want. Why can't I just have what I want? Because you are really deeply, deeply, deeply meant for something slightly different. Deeply meant for something slightly different. We have this Akashic Records card. This is a deep card about, you know, being very meant for something slightly different. So just trust the process, because it is taking you in the direction that you need to go in, although there might be some reluctancy around that. And it might feel kind of like hard at times or whatnot. And it might be hard to kind of like make these shifts and kind of go in this new direction. But there is really a new direction that's really meant for you. And it's going to be much better than what you're expecting. The Akashic Records card is such a powerful card. And it always brings us where we're meant to go. And whatever is meant for us, I promise you, is 10 times better than what you could have ever even wanted or imagined for yourself, because your soul knows exactly what it needs and what it's going to resonate with the most, right? And so if your soul plans something for you, because I promise you, like, we always plan our own lives, right? But sometimes unconsciously our soul knows what's best for us. And so consciously we're looking at our lives and we're like, oh no, I know that this is best. But our soul is like really starting to make shifts, and we're wondering like, why is it not that way? Da, 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 da. It's like, because you're so deeply meant for something different. But when you're meant for something, it's going to resonate with you more than anything. It's going to top the charts. It's going to top the charts of anything else that could have ever come into your life. So I promise you that whatever this is that's guiding you to this new place is going to be better, but you just don't see it yet because you haven't experienced whatever that is yet. You know what I mean? So right when you begin to start to see that, right when it begins to unfold in your life, it'll start to make a lot more sense, and it's going to be way better. So there is a shift that's happening. It's going to be slightly different. You're going to be going in a slightly different direction. It could take any shape or form in your life, because again, it is a general reading, so I can't tell you exactly what that's going to look like, but there is some sort of like shift here that's going to be taking place where it's kind of like, yes, you're on the right track. This is like a kind of stepping stone, but there's a different outcome. And even though that might sound like, you know, you might have some hesitations on that, hearing that right now, I promise you it's going to be way worth it in the end. Way worth it. So yes. Good things to come. Let's see the other cards that we have here for you. Group number 2, we have the card of imagination. So I think you're a very creative person. What I'm gathering from this is like very creative energy here. This is also, the purple is the crown chakra, and it deals with our attachments. So there's something maybe that we're currently very attached to, but your soul right now is kind of urging you, use your imagination. Like, you know, you might not come up with the exact answer right away. You might not kind of like see or you know, find out exactly what it is right away that it is that you're meant for, but it is coming. Use your imagination. Just know that like things are coming. Your mind is going to take you in the right direction. You're being divinely guided there because it's what's meant for you. So your soul knows exactly where to go and what to do. Your soul really knows that. So just trust it, right? And everything is meant to be this is all part of the process. We're meant to go through this process, and you were meant to go on the stepping stone, even though it's not the end goal stepping stone. It's not the like destination stepping stone. It is a stepping stone nonetheless that is taking you to the destination. So don't feel like you're off track. Don't feel like you're like, whatever. This was meant to be. You're meant to be right here. This is a stepping stone. It's not like, we can just jump right to our destination on the first step, right? There's going to be stepping stones, and this is one of them. So, yes. We also have the card here of love. So the end goal, you're going to really love the end goal that's coming for you. You're going to really love the end goal. You're going to resonate with it. It is going to be so deeply meant for you. So trust that. Group 2, I really want you to trust that, because whatever is coming for you is going to be amazing and beautiful. But we just need to kind of like trust in that process. It is bringing you where you need to be. The next two cards, we have Balancing Act. Ooh, so yeah, it's like you're on that journey, and it's just like follow those breadcrumbs, because whatever you're inspired by right now is like part of that stepping stone. So whatever you're currently maybe desiring or wanting, that's like part of your journey. So you're meant to kind of want that right now. It's like part of that development. We also have so many ones. We have the one that's at the end of this card. We have a double one right here. We have a one right here. There's lots of ones. And this deals with like a new beginning. So you're on the track to this kind of like new beginning. You're on the right track to it. And I think it's going to slowly start to fall into your life. It's going to happen very naturally, where it just starts to slowly like come in and come in and come in. But it's just like following those little breadcrumbs. And this is one of those breadcrumbs right now. Even though it feels like end goal type of energy, it is one of those breadcrumbs that's slowly developing you and leading you to where you need to go. Life has a funny way of doing that. So this is just kind of like one of those moments, We also have Spirit of Place. Oh, yes. So these are the little inklings. So this is kind of like, this card is like, we're following those little inklings. And this is saying that you're on the right path right now. So, keep going to whatever it is that you're inspired by right now, because this is part of your journey. This is part of that stepping stone that's going to help you kind of develop where you need to go. So just keep following that, because that's part of your journey. That's part of your path. And it's going to make sense in the end. Kind of like when you get a bird's eye view of something, and you can see it from the outside and you're like, oh, this is all going to make sense in the end, but it's like hard to explain to somebody who's like deeply in the sort of like thick of it. It's kind of like somebody like driving through the fog, and you can see like, oh, the fog's going to end in like, another like hour. Just like keep going, keep driving, just keep trusting the process. You're getting where you need to go. But the person who's stuck in the fog, they're just like, oh my God, am I ever going to get to the end? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, what is this? I don't even understand. Like, this happens and this happens and this happens. What is going on? But from a bird's eye view, you're just like, oh, I can see where you are. Like, you're getting there. You're totally getting there. It's going to make sense once you get out of it, So that's kind of like what's happening in your life right now. Is kind of like developing you on that journey. Also, we have so many 4s and 1s. Like, look at this. It's all like 4s and 1s. 4s talk about a foundation. The 1s are, of course, newness, new beginnings. So this is talking about a new foundation. You're on the journey of creating a new foundation for yourself. It's sort of like you're honestly on developing a new you. You're on a path of developing a new you. So follow these little inklings. Follow those little desires that you're getting, because it's really leading you to where you need to be. All of this like subtle energy, just follow what it is that you love. follow that creativity, that imagination that you have, because it's really leading you where you need to go. And I keep hearing just trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Even though it's not the process that maybe we would have like, you know, built for ourselves if we had the choice, right? We're just like, oh, I wish I could have built a better process. But it's like, this is so meant to be, you know, it's like doing a house renovation. It's not going to be all pretty, you know, it's not going to be like super easy and pretty. You got to like tear down what's already there in order to like build the new, you know what I mean? So just trust the process. The next few cards that we have here, we have the card of Get Curious. Yes, use your imagination, get curious. Group 2. There is so much here that you are really like meant for. Just spread your wings, get curious, start exploring your options, realize that there's more options in front of you than just one. So don't get like disappointed if something feels stuck or is not working out. Just trust the process and get curious. Take a drive down a road you've never been on, you know, do something that you've never done before, cook a meal you've never cooked before, you know, do something that's allowing you to kind of like expand. Watch a video on YouTube that you've never watched before, you know, like do something out of your norm, because you're going to garner like knowledge and information that's going to kickstart your imagination to start moving in a new direction. You're going to get ideas that you've never thought of before, you know, all sorts of things like that. We also have the card here of Shadow. So there's something, yeah, you're developing into a brand new you. Like, look at it. Also, certain things are coming to your awareness that you didn't know of before, because shadow's the unconscious, right? So the unconscious knows more than we could ever know. So there's certain things even about yourself that you're unaware of. I think there's untapped into talents within you that aren't even awakened yet, that are going to get realized and awakened along your journey that you don't even know about yet, that are going to be like pertinent to whatever it is that you are meant for. You're kind of like destiny. This is all going to be like coming to the surface. So you're on that journey, that stepping stone journey of this awakening. You're on this awakening journey. And as you awaken more, you're going to realize like that you're meant for something kind of slightly different. And it's not going to make sense at the time. But as you kind of like, I really think like 5-6 years from now, you're going to look back on your old desires and be like, oh wow, I'm so glad that those did not happen. And I think even right now in your life, you can probably think back to old things that you maybe wanted, and you can think back to those and be like, I'm really glad that I didn't get that. This is one of those moments, and it's gonna make sense in the end. I promise. Ooh, and then we also have the card here of Compassion. So be easy on yourself is one of the messages that I'm getting here, is like, be easy on yourself, because like it's not your fault if certain things are really just not working out. It's not an issue with you. It's that you're meant for something different. So yeah, it's like one thing I keep hearing is like, it's not your fault if certain things don't work out. It's like you're really meant for something slightly different. So just know that when certain things are out of your control and not happening, it's because there's something more meant for you, okay? So yes, have that compassion and allow certain things to kind of like fall away. You know, the skulls represent sort of transformation and the death of something. So allow certain things to fall away that clearly are not working, right? And you know, certain things, they're worth fixing. But certain things, it's like when we've beaten the drum so many times and it's clearly just not happening, it's like, okay, maybe there's something else that's kind of meant for me here. So we're going to shuffle these cards. We're going to try to get some more info on this reading for you. So group 2, some more info for group 2. Let's see. We have Chiron of Healing. Ooh, so you're going to be going through some like deep transformations. Also interesting because Chiron is the story of the wounded warrior, and his wounds end up becoming his strength. So whatever it is that you're going through right now, these things are going to end up being your like biggest successes. These certain things that are not going to work out for you you're going to look back on them, kind of like what I was saying earlier. You're going to look back on them and be like, oh, thank God. It's going to be one of those things. And also, there's certain areas where you maybe feel like, oh, well, I lack in that department, da 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 da. Those are actually going to be your strengths. These are kind of like your uniquenesses. And it will kind of end up being your strength in an odd way. So you're going through a time of healing, but it's going to be like so good for you. Let's see what else we get here. So group 2. What else do we have here for group number 2? Part of fortune, increase. So that's a really good card. This is a card where, this is a card of talents for one. We also have another card here that I'm going to pull out in a second. But this is where we find our talents. Your talents is going to be in your healing. And I think through your healing, you're awakening new talents, kind of like what I was seeing in this card here. And part of fortune is also when we kind of increase our fortune as well. So you're meant for more. You're meant to do more. You're meant to attain more than what you currently see for yourself. And as you start to awaken these like inner talents, as you go through these healings and you start to, it's going to end up being your strength, because all scars, that's stronger pieces of skin than our other skin. So scars are actually tougher and stronger. And so whatever it is that you're kind of going through right now, it's developing you into kind of a stronger person, where this is going to kind of like really pay off in the end and be part of that journey that kind of really develops you and who you're meant to be. So yes. The other card that we have here is the earth element of stability. So this is creating a very strong foundation for you. This is creating a stronger sense of foundation, a stronger sense of security and stability. And this can also be talking about an increase of money. Maybe we're kind of like meant for more in a different area. So yeah, all good things there as well. We're going to take one last deck and try to get one last card for you. So let's see, any last info? We have 2 cards that wanted to come out. So we have this one right here, Lineage of the Rose, which is moved by the goddess, here for this soul call, gather. So yeah, you're definitely meant for something here. Oh, and then we have another rose card, the rose thread. So inner call, soul led, the mystic, living courageously. So there's going to be some inner callings that are going to come up that guide you in a new direction. So as certain things are kind of like, you know, not happening, there's other things that are unfolding at the same time. And it's all about kind of following that. And didn't we have a card here that said like balancing act or something like that? Yeah, this one. The little kind of like, these little like rose petals, they're sort of like leaves in the wind, kind of similar to this card, which talks about kind of like listening to the call, listening to your inner gut feelings that are sort of slowly guiding you in a particular direction. So I think that you're going to be like guided in a particular direction. It's also interesting, we have the word thread here, and it's like we have this like thread that we're kind of balancing on. It might feel like small little inklings that are sort of just guiding you somewhere, but it's guiding you somewhere really big. So just literally live courageously, follow those inner calls, follow that. There's like a lineage, there's literally like a line here that's leading you to where you need to go. Moved by the goddess, here for this soul call, gather. So yeah, it's like there is certain signs that are going to be like kind of like coming out that are guiding you to particular places. It's just like listen to them, trust it, follow it. Follow the little like guidances that you get. Like if there's one day where you feel like doing something completely different, do it, because it's probably going to give you certain ideas and boost your kind of imagination in a particular way that's going to kind of like allow this story to unfold. Your story's unfolding. And yes, it's going to be slightly different than what you expected or what you planned, but it's going to be so much better because you're meant for something more. You're meant for something deeper here. So that is what we have for you. New talents will begin to awaken within you, ones that you don't even realize that you have waiting underneath to be realized. They are going to start coming to the surface, and this is all part of that journey. And it'll all make sense in the end. So that is what we have here, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I would love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 3, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be a reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group 3, here is what we have for you. We start off with the Page of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Swords. We have the Justice card, the Hierophant, and then the 10 of Pentacles over here. So one of the things that I'm noticing right off the bat is like, I'm hearing this like fruition, like something is coming to fruition for you. But it almost feels like there might be some sort of choice in front of you, or like something that could go in 2 different directions with this Justice card. Like there's something here where it's like, ooh, this could go in 2 different directions, or like, you know, is it this or is it that, or there's something here. And the Justice card deals with revealing truth being revealed, or more information being revealed in order for us to make a clear decision, because maybe there's a decision involved in whatever it is that you are asking about. And I see that there's more information that's going to be coming to you that's going to help kind of like bring something to fruition. I do see there being a really happy ending for you with the 10 of Pentacles. Like there's something that's coming to fruition that's going to be very fulfilling and very happy for you. But there's also some sort of like decision in the middle of this, or some sort of balance that needs to be like had. It could even be that like maybe we've put in a lot of effort, maybe we've put in a lot of work into something, but we haven't really noticed a payoff yet. And this is like the payoff is coming, or like the clear decision is coming for us, or, you know, truth is going to be coming out, which helps us kind of steer in the proper direction. There's something along the lines of these sort of like kind of scenarios that's going to be happening that allows you to kind of move to something more fulfilling for you, and allows you to kind of like let go of your past in order to kind of like move into a more fulfilling future. Because Justice also deals with kind of like putting your foot down and setting boundaries to your past, and also kind of like just really up-leveling yourself and finding deeper values within yourself, something that you value more. So there could be like scenarios playing out in the near future that help you develop what it is that you value and what you want to put above all else, and kind of like the balance of something, like things finally balancing out in order to kind of like get to a deeper fulfillment. But I really see you kind of like working on your values. What do you value is somehow part of whatever this outcome is, of whatever you're asking about. It deals with, okay, what is it that you value? Where are we putting all of our energy? Which direction are we putting our energy? Okay, because this could even be an outcome where it could go in 2 different directions, but it's wherever we feed the most, whatever we feed the most. Where are you spending your energy? What are you putting your energy towards? Is it towards what feels good, or are you putting your energy towards what feels bad, right? Because, for example, in manifestation, the universe doesn't listen to, you know, when we're focusing on, oh, I don't want something. They don't listen to like the language of it. If we're focused on what we don't want, if we're thinking about what we don't want, if we're having the emotional feeling of like, oh, I'm scared of this, or I fear this, that's where our energy is going, right? But if our energy is going in the direction of, oh, I'm so excited about this, like, oh, what if it turns out even better than I could imagine? Like, oh, all the good energy, da 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 da. And as I look off to my side, there's this massive yacht in the ocean, like the biggest yacht I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. And that kind of makes me feel like there's a big amount of energy for you right now going in a particular direction. You need to focus on, what are you feeding? Which cup are you feeding? Are you feeding the fear, or are you feeding the goodness, right? Because I think that there's a lot of energy here. Whatever it is that you're asking about, there's a lot of energy, but it depends which direction you're feeding it. Wow, that yacht is just huge. My gosh, I feel like 500 people could fit on that yacht. My gosh. Anyway, that to me is just Spirit's message of being like, there is a lot of energy here. What direction are you going to steer it? Okay. So we start off this Page of Cups card, and this Page of Cups card says that there is some sort of desire. There's maybe some sort of emotional connection to something. We're emotionally connected to something, and maybe we are kind of figuring out where we want to flow that energy. Where is it going to go? The 4 of Pentacles right here says that we're maybe like clinging on to a particular outcome, or we're clinging on to like I really want to know, like, what direction should I go in? What's going to happen? Like, we're hanging on to something. And then the 4 of Swords is kind of like maybe we're waiting We're waiting around for something to happen. Maybe we're waiting for more information. Maybe we're waiting for somebody else to kind of step up and do something. There's a lot of different things that maybe we're just like, there's energy that's sort of like remaining a little bit stagnant, doesn't really know fully where it's going yet. But we can kind of like tip the scales in the direction that we want by sort of focusing our energy in a particular direction. So I'm really, the answer that I have for you, whether it's yes or no, group number 3 is sort of like, it's either or right now. It could go in either or direction. And it's really depending on where we feed our energy right now and what we value, and focusing on deeper values rather than surface level values, because we can't feed into like, you know, little surface level things and hoping it's going to become deep, right? We can't like feed our energy into the wrong direction. Like, what are we feeding our energy into? Like, I don't know, an example that I have, I guess, I don't know, I keep getting love examples in my head, and you know, you could be asking about career, you could be asking about something, you could be asking about whatever, like it could be anything, but here's an example that I'm going to use and just sort of take it metaphorically, if you will. It's almost like, say that you're dating somebody and you want it to become deeper or more meaningful or more fulfilling, but you keep sort of like entertaining like a casual relationship, and if you keep putting the energy of like oh totally, we're still casual, you know, and we keep feeding that energy, we might confuse the person that we're with, and they might think, oh, they just want something casual, like, okay, well, that's the energy that I'm getting from them, that's all they want. You know, if we're wanting the energy of something more, we need to kind of like put the energy of something more in there and, you know, hold that energy within ourselves, right? Same with like career and like energy that you put towards your job. Like if you're wanting to start your own business, but we keep, you know, barely doing anything, it's not really going to become anything until we really start putting our energy into the basket. If we keep sitting around waiting for it to happen, it's not going to happen. We have to take action. So what I mean by all of these examples is like, there needs to be action being taken. What are we valuing? What are we putting most of our energy towards? Are we putting most of our energy towards our past or our future? Where are we putting our energy? The big question for you, group 3, is where are you putting your energy? It could be your outcome could be a yes or a no, which is interesting because the past couple groups had definitely like clearer answers. And for you, it's a clear answer as well. It's a very clear answer. It's a clear answer of like, it's very much, it could tip the scale in either way. It's really up to you which way you want to tip the scale. But if you tip it in the direction that you do want to go in, I can tell you right now, it's going to be very fulfilling, and like, the 10 of Pentacles is something that's very good. So we need to put our energy towards that. And you know, that pathway could have its twists and turns. It could have its challenges. It could have its obstacles and all that kind of stuff. But if we tip our scale towards, you know, moving towards the thing that we are desiring, the end goal is there. The end goal is happening. It is blossoming in some type of way. But we are going to be going through our learning regardless. The Hierophant is really challenging us though to kind of like pinpoint what exactly is it that we value and what do we want to put our energy towards the most. We might have to start thinking about that a little bit deeper, and in regards to whatever it is that you're asking about, it's time to really start to plan out what is it that you value, what belief systems are going to serve you, what belief systems are holding you back, because we might have to like put some boundaries and kind of fix our belief systems and start to kind of like be really authentic, be open, be truthful. There's some sort of truth that needs to be kind of like spoken here, and realized and put energy towards rather than sitting around. Because 4 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles are both sort of like this energy of we're kind of like sitting and waiting. But we need to take action if we're wanting to get there. So the big answer for you, group 3, is like, we need to take some action. So with that being said, the next 2 cards, we have the card here of beauty. So what is it that we value? So beauty is connected to what we value. So what are we putting our efforts towards? What are you putting your efforts towards, group 3? Maybe it's time to focus on what it is that you love and to kind of like beautify your outcome rather than avoid your outcome, because sometimes like we can tend to avoid going in a certain direction because we're actually scared of success, or we're scared of failure, right? But we need to kind of like try it out if we're wanting to get there. And also, true failure doesn't actually exist unless we give up. Failure is actually just when we stop trying. You can keep trying, and your failures will end up just being like your little obstacles that you had to overcome, right? So it's up to you. But this card says here, I have a form which is divine. I allow what is within to shine. So this is also owning who you are, allowing with what is within you to shine, really starting to shine who you are. Let's be who you are. Let's stop hiding who you are. Let's stop being like scared of going in the direction that we really desire, because the only way to find out if you can do it, and the only way to even do it and to have it come to fruition, is to take action. It is to shine that light within you and to be it, to own it, to start doing it. So a huge thing that I'm hearing right here for you, group number 3, is like, it can be a yes if you take action towards it, and if you really don't give up and you keep going for it. I'm really hearing a yes for that. But it can easily fall in the other direction if we start giving up or we just don't take action on it altogether. So that correlates beautifully. We also, we have the card of trust, which is also a number 4, because the 3 and the 1 is a number 4. And we also have number 4 and number 4. So 4 is a huge, prominent number coming up for you, group 3. Like, we have 4 energy for you through and through. So 4s are all about your foundation. Set your foundation, which means set a routine, set a schedule, set a proper foundation. What is it that you value? Who do you want to show up as? What is your foundation? Who are you? Who are you going to identify as? Let's set that foundation, and then let's start building those walls. Let's start taking action. Let's start doing. But first, we need the foundation. So what do you value? What's your routine? What's your schedule going to be? And like, let's do it. So then after that, all we have to do is trust. And the trust card here says, I am safe, I'm secure, in love I trust, my faith endures. So we need to have unwavering faith in whatever direction it is that we're going in. Otherwise, you know, when we're met with an obstacle or a challenge, it's very easy to give up if we don't trust. If we don't trust ourselves, if we don't feel like we can get that outcome, you know, then of course, during the slightest sign of obstacle or challenge, we're going to see that as failure. We're going to see that as a no, rather than seeing that as like just an obstacle to overcome, right? So this is about you setting that proper foundation of trust and seeing the truth within you, seeing your value, starting to really see your value. When we plan out our weaknesses and our strengths and we begin to see that with our authenticity, we can start to see like, oh, maybe I need to work on this part of myself because this part of myself is my weakness. Maybe my weakness is not seeing my true worth. Maybe my weakness is feeling like I'm not worthy. Maybe my weakness is thinking that I don't have what it takes. Maybe my weakness is excuses. Maybe my weakness is not finding the time to start. When we can identify our weaknesses, we give ourselves the power to fix them. So this could even be revealing the truth of seeing yourself authentically. And through that, we can then justify that. We can then rebalance it through other means. We can then take our weaknesses and be like, you know what? Because I have this weakness, I'm going to work on that. So I'm going to put my energy in this direction instead so that I can balance this out and I can, you know, figure it out. Right? Then the next 2 cards that we have here, we have the card of rescue. So your weaknesses, you can be your own rescuer. Through any challenge, through any obstacle, you can be your own rescuer. You can really like help yourself move through and get past any obstacle. You have the means within you to get to where you need to go, but it's really up to you. And so again, the answer to your question is like, it could go either or. It is really in your hands, group 3. It is in your own hands. We also have the card here of solitude. So where are we maybe blocking ourselves off from success? Are we removing ourselves from success? Are we keeping ourselves in solitude? 4 of Swords is also solitude. So we have 2 cards here that resemble kind of solitude and taking a back seat. Are we feeding that? Are we feeding the fact that we're so far away from our goal? Because if we're feeding into that, we're just creating more and more of that. But if we're feeding ourselves in the other direction, where we're taking action, we're moving towards our goal, we're getting closer and closer to it. And soon we're going to be right next to it, and then soon we're going to be in it. So it's up to you. Are we going to stay in solitude, or are we going to start our journey? If you don't like where you currently are, it's almost like living, right here away from everything, which for some people might be a goal. But for the example of this, let's say that you want to live on a tropical ocean, and this is clearly not it. Are we going to say like, well, I was born and raised here, I might as well just stay right here. Might as well just stay right here. I'm not worthy of getting to a tropical beach. Da 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 da. Are we going to do that? Or are we going to be like, you know what? I'm really not happy where I am. I'm going to pack my bags and I'm going, because I'm going to reach my destination, and I know it might be a far trek, but I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to give up until I get there, because that's where I want to be, and then I'm going to be happy. So that is the message for you here, is like Spirit is coming through trying to tell you like, hey, it's all about the movement. We got to start moving in that direction. If you want to get there, let's go. Let's start the journey. Better late than never. If you start now, it's sooner than tomorrow. You're going to get there a day ahead of time if we start now rather than tomorrow. We also have the card here of boundaries. So that's interesting actually, because justice is kind of like boundaries in a sense as well. So where are we putting up too many walls? And also, how are we viewing our obstacles? Are we viewing our obstacles as boundaries, as walls? Because they don't have to be. We can always, walk around them. We can tear down those obstacles. We can get through them, right? So where are we laying in protection mode? Where we're letting fear kind of control us? Where are we kind of putting up too many walls where we're not letting our light shine? Ooh, we also have the card here of patience. So yeah, you're not going to get from this marshland to tropical paradise overnight. It's going to take a little bit of patience. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we need to trust the process and not give up. We just need to keep getting there, moving. Because when we move there, it's inevitable to get from point A to point B. It's inevitable. You absolutely will and can get there if you keep moving from point A to point B. We just need to keep moving. And it's kind of like the story of the tortoise and the hare. We have this tortoise shell right here, and it's really reminding me of that. It's like the slow one wins the race. So it doesn't matter how slow you're going. As long as you're moving, you're going to get to the finish line. Ooh, we also have the observer. So you kind of tie your own fate. You kind of tie your own destiny, group 3. We all do. And what I'm seeing in this is like the strings that are attached to the hands that are viewing. And I'm almost seeing this as you viewing yourself, and you are kind of like weaving your own web. However that you view yourself, however that you observe yourself is how you kind of weave yourself. That's how you create yourself. So if you view yourself as someone who's shy, if you view yourself as somebody who's like doesn't have what it takes, doesn't have the talent, then that is what you're weaving for yourself. But if you see yourself as like rather from an external perspective, and you're like, maybe like I could just work on whatever this is. It's the same thing as observing like, oh, what are my current weaknesses? Let's start to work on that and fill the other side of the cup, right? So if I'm shy, let's work on that. Like, if I'm wanting to be on camera, but I'm shy, like let's start being on camera. Let's start recording myself more often so I can like build that skill. You can weave whatever web that you want. You can be whoever you want. Your identity is up to you. Your identity is malleable. It doesn't have to be set in stone. It's not set in stone. You are who you are right now. And if you believe that that's permanent, then it will be permanent, because you're not going to even think about changing that if you believe it to be permanent, right? But if you start to realize that, hey, my persona, my identity is up to me. I can identify as whatever I want. You can sow whatever you want. You can become whatever you want. So the observer, however you see yourself, is what you are sowing for yourself. is what you're creating yourself to be. So that's changeable. That is really up to you. And that's a huge message that's coming through for you, group number 3, for your question. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get some more cards on here. We have the 10th house, which is the world, which is interesting because we ended with the 10 of Pentacles, which reminds me kind of this 10th house energy. It's very Capricorny. It's also very like getting to a huge goal. The 10th house is the house of our goals and our career and our money and things like that. And with the 10th house coming through, it's like really like you can shoot for the moon. You can shoot for the highest goals. And this card confirms that you can attain that. But you just need to start weaving and sewing that story. You need to start sewing that web if you want to kind of like get there. Let's see what else we have for you. We also have void of course, moon missing. So you know, even if you feel off course right now, you can get back on course. You can get back on course. We just need to start moving. We just need to start taking action, which has kind of been like the whole kind of like theme of this reading is like taking action. Otherwise, we're off course. We're veering off course. So it's really up to you. Whatever you want to sow for yourself, your future is really up to you. It always has been and it always will be. So let's see what else we get for you, group number 3. So the last card that we have here is Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. So the ideas are going to come to you along the way. If you're kind of confused, like, how am I going to get there? How is it going to happen? That's something that is going to develop along the way as you just start to take action, you start to move towards that. So think about what is some sort of action that you can take today towards your goal? And think about that every day, because as you move forward, new actions are going to get revealed to you because you're literally moving forward. Therefore, new doors are opening, new forms of action are available to you because, you know, you need to take first step first in order to get to step number 2, in order to get to step number 3, right? So take the first step. The rest will reveal itself along the way. Step 4 is going to reveal itself after you get to step 3. So keep going and keep going. You don't need to see the whole path yet. It's getting revealed as it goes. So the ideas are coming to you as it goes. It's all getting revealed to you. So it's just about trusting, which is why we had that trust card and also the justice card, but it's about which area you're going to fill. It's time to fill the cup that you want to drink out of rather than filling the cup that you don't want to drink out of. So that is what we have here for you, group number 3. I hope this reading made sense for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 4, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. So group number 4, here's what we have for you. We start off with the 10 of Pentacles being reversed, the Ace of Wands being reversed over here. We have the Knight of Cups, the World, the 4 of Cups, and then the 9 of Pentacles here. So let's get into your kind of reading here. So first off, when we start off with an Ace being reversed, this immediately says an immediate kind of like no to whatever it is that you're asking about, but that's not all that we have going on here. So hear me out. Hear me out, because there's more going on here than meets the eye. So the first sort of thing that I'm seeing is whatever it is that you're asking about kind of feels like the energy right now is a no. The Knight of Cups, though, coming in right after gives me this feeling like there's some other opportunity, there's some other thing that's coming in here for you that's kind of either replacing this thing, or this thing is transforming in a new way, in a different way than kind of expected. It's taking on a new direction than what's expected, than what it is right off the bat. So whatever it is right off the bat, whatever you're kind of seeing it as right now, is kind of like a no, but this thing is kind of transforming, or there's something kind of new that's coming in to sort of replace whatever this thing is that's not working out. Because anytime something doesn't work out for us, anytime something is a no, it's because there's something else that's meant for us. There's something else that's meant to fill that space, right? So whatever it is right now is not quite your missing puzzle piece. It's either going to transform and develop in a different way, or there's kind of like a new thing that's coming in that's going to be replacing that, that's more meant for you. But there is a chapter of your life that's going to be closing. The World card talks about the kind of like the completion of something. I'm also getting that there's like sort of a transformation that you're going to be going through. It's like an old chapter is ending for you, because the world is like the closing of the chapter, right? And there's a new chapter that's about to begin. And we might be kind of looking at like the different things that were not meant for us, because the Four of Cups is like such a powerful card, because it talks about the fact that when we're looking at the things that didn't work out for us, we're kind of missing opportunities and things that are coming our way that are meant for us. So it's kind of like there's something new here that's coming, but we're not even seeing it. We're not even perceiving of it, because we're kind of like too focused on what didn't work out. So don't be too focused on what's not working out, because there is something that is meant for you, an opportunity that is going to be coming your way, literally a new chapter that's opening that is going to be extremely fulfilling for you. This is something that's going to like make you feel really good. It's going to make you feel very abundant. The Nine of Pentacles is a card that is all about abundance. It's about riches, independence, feeling good, being able to attain some deep desires that you've had, and being able to provide them all on your own, because it's just like something that, yeah, it's just like you're, you know, reaching new levels of abundance basically. But this is all about viewing this new opportunity that's coming in. So there is something that won't be kind of working out. Whatever it is that you're asking about right now is somehow kind of like not working out, but it's an opportunity for you that it's not working out. It's actually a blessing in disguise. So yeah, if I could like chalk up your reading into one sentence, is a blessing in disguise, because there's something that's so meant for you that's going to be coming into your life, and it's going to really like top the charts of like other things that you could have expected or wanted. Like this other thing that maybe you wanted, you're going to be really glad that this kind of like transformed and developed into something different, because it's all going to make sense at the end. It's going to kind of reveal itself at the end. And it's going to really make sense to you by the end of it, why certain things are maybe a little bit more of a no right now, but it is going to kind of like transform. Or again, there's like a new opportunity, or it's meant to kind of come at a different time. This could even be a timing thing for some of you, where it's maybe a no right now, but it's going to slowly develop into something different. So yeah, there's a development here that's meant to kind of happen, and it's meant to transpire so that you can kind of reach a new outcome. And this is going to be a new outcome. It's not like you're kind of like staying in your old. This is a new outcome that's coming your way. A new opportunity that's sort of coming your way, or it's transforming in some type of way in order to give you more, because in its current state, it cannot give you that. In your current state, you cannot receive that. So there's transformation that's taking place in order to allow you to be able to receive that, because your current kind of state is not in a receiving state. We're not in a receiving state right now. So the world is sort of transforming you. The universe is sort of transforming you to become more in a receiving state. And once you're in the receiving state, it's like, bam, all of a sudden the abundance, you're like in your garden, you're like, I have more than anything that I could have ever wanted. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be transforming in so many different ways, but in very good ways. So allow it to transform, allow it to take those changes and make those changes, because yeah, it's going to flow you down a slightly different river than you expected, but it's going to end up being a very good thing in the end. So just trust the process. Group number 4, I know it might not make a lot of sense right now, but trust the process, because it is leading you where you're meant to go. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and add a couple more cards on here. We have the card here of study. So maybe there's more that we need to kind of like learn, either about ourselves or about something else. Maybe we're needing to study more into something else, because this is going to help us transform whatever this is. You know, you could be asking about career, for example, and if so, maybe there's more that we need to learn about this career in order for it to blossom in the way that it needs to blossom. If this is about, you know, relationships or something like that, maybe there's more that we need to learn and develop within ourselves and have more character development in order to have this come to the fruition that we're desiring. So there's more information that is going to be kind of revealed along the way that kind of helps us develop in the way that we need to develop in. We also have the card here of safe home. So this one could be talking about, it's creating a better environment for you, like whatever it is that you're asking about. Maybe there's something better out there for you. Maybe there's something better that's going to feel better and be better for you. Whereas maybe what you're currently asking for, or whatever your current state might be, might not be able to withhold whatever it is that you're asking for. So there's certain learning that's going to kind of like come to you to kind of develop you into who you need to be. And homes also deal with our foundation. So this could also be talking about your foundation maybe is transforming a little bit in order to kind of bring you where you need to be in order to take this new opportunity, because there's an opportunity that's waiting just beyond the horizon, but maybe we're not looking in the right area. We're clearly not looking at the right area because we're looking at things that are currently not kind of working out for us. And we're currently getting these no's. We're currently seeing all these no's because we're looking in the wrong place, or our perspective is in the wrong place. Our perspective is wrong. So you are going to be going through a perspective shift, and also where you're currently looking. There's going to be like shifts in these areas, and then all of a sudden you're going to be able to see abundance. We need to shift your mindset and your perspective and where you're looking towards something that's more abundant, because you are deserving and your path is leading you towards more abundance. So there's obviously these shifts that need to take place. We're closing out an old chapter of looking at the negativity. Maybe we're closing out an old chapter of our lives where we were situated in the wrong place. You know, it had its time, it was a stepping stone, but now it's kind of bringing you to a new place where we're going to be moving beyond the horizon. Some of you this could actually be a literal move for some of you, since we have the home card and I'm hearing all this move stuff. So this could be a literal move for some of you. And the more that you learn, the more that you kind of like, the more knowledge that you gain, I think you might want to situate yourself somewhere different. You might want to situate your perspective somewhere different. And then after that perspective shift and after that situation shift, all of a sudden this is going to become very abundant. This is going to become very prosperous for you and very promising for you. And all of a sudden you're going to get all the things that you've been wishing for. So there's some shifts that need to take place here in order to bring you where you need to be, which is actually going to end up being very beneficial for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next couple cards. We have Dragon's Lair. So lots of boiling is going to be going down. Yeah, we might be stuck in a little bit of a place where we're going to need to go through some transformation. We're going to need to kind of let go of our old ways of being and allow those to transform, because the dragons, they breathe fire, and fire is transformation. It alchemizes things. It transforms them into a different sort of thing. You know, it takes whatever, like it takes wood, for example, and burns it till it turns back into, I think, like nitrogen or something, like back into the air or whatever, back into the soil or something, whatever. But yeah, like it alchemizes certain things. So you're kind of going through a big transformation yourself, and you're kind of like almost in this magical like underground area where maybe you're going to be going through a little bit of pressure here and there, where the pressures around you are causing you to kind of like condense and form into who you need to become. Just like how gemstones are formed, it's like different minerals underneath the earth are put under tons of pressure, and then they form into gemstones and they grow beautiful crystals. So it's almost like you're kind of going through that right now under the Dragon's Lair. You're going through that major transformation. So that's why it's kind of currently a no, but then it's like blossoming into the beautiful yes. Yeah, we're like under the mountain right now. Here we have it again. We're like underneath the mountain, kind of going through this major transformation where we're opening up in new ways, and the light's going to be shining in kind of like a new direction, and it's really kind of leading you where you need to go. And it's like the proper path is slowly illuminating for you. So yeah. And this could also be getting over the mountain, getting over a certain hurdle, and also gaining a new perspective. Because, you know, when we're constantly living on like one side of the mountain, we only see that. We don't see what's on the other side of the mountain because the mountain is so big, right? So it's almost like there's like a wall in your perspective where you're not seeing another option for yourself. You're not seeing another way of being. And so this is a huge perspective shift. It could even be like a physical move or something like that, where we all of a sudden become aware of something else. And as we become aware of something else, we're able to kind of move past that obstacle and get over that big hurdle and over that challenge and see life in a different way, which is going to allow us to blossom and take on a completely new opportunity that we didn't see as an option before. So with that being said, the next few cards that we have Fate. So this is all part of your like destiny right here. Your destiny is unveiling, but we just don't see that destiny yet because we haven't even seen that path yet. We haven't even seen that perspective. We're not even aware of that yet. It's not even in our awareness. So that's slowly, it's an egg that's slowly being hatched. That new destiny is slowly being hatched. It's something we haven't even seen before. So there's a new kind of thing that's emerging, the closing of an old chapter and the birthing of something new. We also have the outlaw. So, yep, we're kind of like being kicked out of our old state of being. Our old perspectives are being booted out. There's certain things that are being booted out of our existence, booted out of our lives. We're even maybe being booted out of our old way of being and our old like perspectives and living situations and where we currently see ourselves. There's like, we're getting the boot here, but it's all part of like the divine plan of like putting us where we're meant to go. Ooh, and then we have Dare to Dream with the crystal. Look at that. So yeah, it's like you guys are under the mountain being formed into your beautiful gemstone. And that's going to be, look, it's kind of being taken by the talon of this maybe like stork or eagle or something, and it's being planted somewhere different. So you, as you're developing, you're going to be slowly getting moved so that you can be planted somewhere different. The universe wants to plant you somewhere else because you're meant for something different. You're meant for something more. So it's kind of like you're being carried away. So yeah, again, the answer to your question, group 4, is kind of like this immediate no. That's sort of like there's an underlying yes, but the yes is different than what you thought. So with that being said, let's get into our last few cards here to get any more information on this reading for you. Yes, so you're going through some major change right now, and the outcome is going to be different than what you thought, the lunar eclipse. This is also an emotional change too. The lunar eclipse is when we go through emotional changes. So whatever you're currently emotionally attached to, that might be changing. Ooh, 8th house, endings and beginnings, makes total sense. So yeah, the ending of the old and the beginning of the new. The newness kind of like awakening. The newness here, closing out the old chapter, makes total sense. I'm not even surprised we have that card. We also have the Saturn Truth card. So breaking through old boundaries and barriers. We might have certain boundaries, barriers, belief systems that you're currently like chained to, and it's going to require you to unchain from those because it's currently restricting you from the possibility that's really in front of you, because we're currently chained to maybe a particular outcome where we're thinking like, you know, I don't want to change. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to move somewhere else. I don't want to do this. Like there's so many things that we might be chained to right now that are actually hindering our truest happiness. So I think that you're going to be going through some major transformations, and then this whole answer is like transforming into a yes for you, but it can't become a yes without these changes kind of like taking place, if that makes sense. So yes, with that being said, we're going to try to get one last card here. This is the one I'm feeling. We have Come to Me, acting like a rose, receive abundance. Attracting like a rose. So that makes total sense. It's kind of like the 9 of Pentacles that we had over here. So it's kind of like you're going to be attracting this outcome to you. You are receiving this, but the universe is kind of like putting you into receiving mode. This card is also about abundance and desires, and so is this one. So you're going to be you're literally attracting abundance and desires to you right now. You are attracting it, but you might not realize that what you're attracting kind of comes with a little bit of a stirring, which is actually a good thing. So don't try to like resist it or anything, and don't be like, oh, I'm attracting it wrong. You're not. You're attracting this divinely the way that it's supposed to be, because sometimes, you know, when we begin manifesting, there's certain things that all of a sudden start changing in our lives, and we're like, oh my God, why? I'm clearly not manifesting what I wanted because things are going wrong. That's actually a sign that manifestation is coming your way. That's actually one of the biggest signs that your manifestation is about to come into your life, is when things start kind of going a little bit chaotic or shifting or changing, or maybe even feel like they're going wrong. That's because the universe is making the path. It's kind of like, I use this example all the time because it's such a good example, but it's like having a house and you're asking for like a new kitchen. You're like, oh, I really wish that I had a bigger kitchen. I want that so bad. But maybe your current house doesn't have room for a bigger kitchen, and what the style of cabinets that you have, you just don't like, whatever. And the universe is like, okay, I'll get you a bigger kitchen. So for example, all of a sudden then things start going wrong, your stove stops working, or maybe your stove does a crazy thing where it starts, you know, it kind of like burns your cabinets a little bit, and now you have a big hole in your wall and you're like, oh my God, everything's going wrong. It's actually the universe divinely aligning you towards this opportunity of creating and expanding your kitchen, because now all of a sudden it burnt the wall away or something like that. This is a really crazy example, but you know, hopefully you get the metaphor that I'm trying to say. All of a sudden you have this gaping wall. This is actually the universe being like, well, you said you wanted a bigger kitchen. I got rid of the wall for you. So now when you get these contractors in to fix your kitchen, tell them to move the wall back like 4 feet and bam, you have a bigger kitchen. You know what I mean? And now you get the opportunity to renew your appliances, your cabinets, because that's what you've been asking for. So it's kind of like a renovation that the universe set up for you. So for example, that's kind of like what's happening in your life right now. You've been sort of wishing for something and asking for something. The universe is like, I got it. The universe literally has your gem. It's holding it. It's like, it's bringing it to you. But you are going through transformations in the process, and there's certain things that are being like no, and there's certain things that are going to work out, and you're wondering like, I wanted a new kitchen, but all of a sudden my kitchen's not even working. It's like, well, that's part of the divine plan of getting you your new kitchen. So this is all part of the divine plan of you getting to your goal. So it's kind of a little bit of a no, but it's also a yes at the same time. And it is becoming a yes. What I want you to know, group number 4, is this is a solid, solid, solid yes. But at first it might seem like a no. You might be going through the time period right now where it seems like a no, but it is becoming a yes. It's developing into a yes. So trust the process. It is all working out the way that it is supposed to. So that is what we have for you, group number 4. I hope that made sense to whatever it is that you were asking about. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I would love to have you there. Hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 5, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be a reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group 4, here's what we have for you. We have the 6 of discs. We have the 2 of wands, the 4 of discs, which are essentially the pentacles. We have the ace of cups, the lovers, and then the wheel of fortune. So immediately, group 5, we have a flat out yes. Anytime that there is an ace and it is upright, aces upright signify yes, aces reverse signify no. The fact that we have the ace over here right upright, like, yes, and it is surrounded by some pretty good cards. So I'd immediately say that this is a solid yes for you. For some of you, this could still be like kind of in the development stage, just because we start off with the 6 of pentacles here, and this signifies like energy coming in. We're receiving, so we're kind of receiving something, and I think that whatever it is that you're asking about, the energy is flowing to you. You're kind of like beginning to receive it. It might still be in the planning stages though, because 2 of wands, this does signify planning. It does signify like there's still maybe some things that are developing. They're in the developmental stage. So it's sort of like coming in, the pathway is being created. And also the foundation is being created, because the 4 of discs, the 4 of pentacles sort of signifies our foundation. It also signifies something that we're like hanging on to and we're dearly desiring and dearly wanting. But I do see this as sort of like the energy is coming in that's building this foundation. Whatever it is that you're asking about, it's sort of like coming in. The foundation for that is building. And this is leading to like a deeper fulfillment. And I think that this is leading to some sort of like important maybe connection between you and whatever this thing is. Maybe this is something that's very like faded. There's sort of a path here that's faded. And the wheel of fortune signifies that your fortunes are kind of shifting, and they're really in the hands of you. Like you are the creator. You are the creator of your reality. We all are. We're the creators, we're the divine creators of our reality. And whatever it is that you're creating right now, you're setting a very solid foundation for yourself, and it's really up to you, you know, how you want that to go. But it does look like it's turning out very well right now. It's like your future is looking like it's going in the way that you are creating it to be. The Wheel of Fortune can also signify that we've gone through a lot and we're about to rake in really good karma, because maybe we've done a lot and we feel like we've put in a lot of energy in many different areas, but maybe we haven't seen the payoff of that yet. The payoff for you is coming, group number 5. I think I said group number 4 at one point. If I did, I'm sorry. I don't know why that just came to my mind, but this is definitely group number 5. But yeah, anyway, whatever energy that you've, that you've spended, you're going to be getting that back. Just like the 6 of discs is very interesting because this is also giving and receiving, and this kind of also has this karmic sort of tie about giving and receiving. So all the energy that you've given out with kindness, with love, with all sorts of different things is going to come back to you. All the energy that we give out does come back. Karma has its way of like beautifully balancing things out. So you're going through a period where you're going to be receiving a lot, group number 5, and it does look like whatever it is that you're asking about, there's something that you're desiring. I think there's an outcome that you're desiring, and you are really creating that outcome for yourself, because we got a solid yes over here. For some of you, this could involve another person, just because the Lovers sometimes can indicate that maybe our question or whatever it is that we're asking about might involve somebody else. And this is looking very good. And it just looks like, the Wheel of Fortune also deals sometimes with our fate a little bit. So there's something here that's kind of like fated, or there's something here that's just already tied together. It's already tied in our life somehow. We've like tied the knot with something. And it's just now rolling into our lives. It's on its way. The pathway is sort of just in the developmental stage. This foundation's in the developmental stage, and we have this solid, it's like really starting to fill up into our lives. The flow is just coming in. So all good cards here, group number 5. The next 2 cards, we have fertility. So the fertility card talks about sort of like a blank page getting fertilized. So whatever it is that we've wanted for a future is kind of like a blank page, and we've kind of like fertilized it with what we've been desiring. So let all take root, seed, and sprout. Let new life be all about. So something's in creation mode for you. I can definitely guarantee that something's in the creation mode for group number 5. So all good things. We also have the card here of prosperity. So this is about abundance basically coming in. As you can see, she's carrying the grapes, which signify abundance. So something's, definitely in a deep creation mode. As this tree grows strong, so fine, so I may prosper from the universal divine. You are really going to start to see payoff for different things that you've done in the past. Like different maybe accomplishments that you've had, different maybe you've been very generous in the past, because that 6 of coins can sometimes talk about like generosity and stuff. So maybe we've been very generous with others in the past, and we are now about to sort of reap that generosity back to us. We've given so much already that we kind of are, now we have this buildup of karma, this energy that is kind of almost owed to us in a way. And that's going to be starting to kind of like flow into your life here. Let's see what else we have. We have storm fields. So certain things are also going to start shifting in your life too. The storm fields card. You also might have gone through recently some major shifts where things have maybe been tearing down. Old mindsets have been tearing away. Lots has been like kind of like going through a phase of maybe destruction, or things sort of just like, sort of breaking down in your life. And this is kind of making room for this new path that's about to unfold for you. There's a new path coming in, and we had to kind of destroy the tracks of the old path so that we stopped following the old path so that we can start following the new path. So it's also another little piece of information we got there. We also have the card of goblins. So there's certain things that needed to kind of like fall out of your life. Maybe we've kind of dealt with some certain like blah scenarios in our past. Maybe we've even dealt with certain people trying to take away our success. That's all kind of going to be like fixing itself. Or different fears, because goblins can also just talk about our fears that we have, certain fears that we have. I don't think you're going to have to worry about those. It's kind of like the universe is taking care of that and clearing that for you. There's certain maybe worries that you have around attaining this goal, like, oh, what if this comes up? Or what if this part of myself, of my personality shows? Or what if I ruin it? Or what if I do this? Or what if I do that? There are these certain fears that I think that you might have that come up at certain times. But I think what the universe is really wanting you to know right now in this reading is like, don't worry, you're not going to ruin it. This is already very meant for you. And it's happening regardless. Like, it's really like kind of set here. And And I think that the universe is kind of taking care of all of these other things that we're sort of worried about. Those are kind of like getting taken care of so that we can start to rake in the really good karma and go through a very good karmic cycle. So yeah, all good things. Group number 5. This is kind of beautiful. I'm loving this. The next few cards, we have share wisdom. We have that duality again. So there could be another person involved in whatever this is, where we're connecting to or sharing an experience with, or maybe we're gaining inspiration from another source, or our path is getting revealed through maybe union or connecting to something. So yeah, that's kind of coming through, which is interesting. Curious how that applies to you. But the next card, we have the warrior card. So this can deal with like getting over our fears and realizing that we have that strength. We have the strength to really cut away our fears, cut away those old ties, cut away our past, and to kind of like go fearlessly into our future and to kind of just like, really accept that. We also have the Aries ram horns here, which talk about a new beginning and jumping fearlessly into that new beginning. Maybe we don't know the full outcome yet. Maybe we don't know, the full path, but we're just jumping into it regardless because we're really feeling like this is the way that I just feel called to go. So we have that coming up. And that's really like, I want to reiterate, like that's like really about fearlessly going in that direction. The next card we have is the card of power. Ooh, so gaining strength. We also have that duality once again. So you connecting to a particular path, this is maybe even a union between you and another person. But yeah, the power card, I really think this is you calling your power back, maybe from your past. Maybe other people have kind of stolen your power. Maybe other people have told you that you're not worthy of something. Maybe we've kind of adopted those mindsets from things that we've heard in the past. I think you're going to be calling your power back, and in you calling your power back is going to really allow this dream and desire to come into your life. Is you kind of calling your power back away from your past, away from the old ties that you've had. This is going to really allow what's meant for you to come into your life so much easier. The next card that we have is the Strength card. Yeah, I mean, we have warrior, we have power, we got strength. So I think that you're going to be gaining so much more confidence too, like over the attainment of whatever this is, over whatever you're asking about. This is really filling you up with strength. And I think Spirit is also trying to tell you to like, just fill yourself with confidence. You deserve to be confident. Don't be unsure of yourself. This is something that's happening. It is coming into your life. You deserve what it is that you desire. Have the strength to get through this. Have the strength to really power through this. Get through this. Own yourself. Call your power back. Own that power. Own your strength. That is a huge message that's coming through for you right now. So with that being said, let's get into our last few cards. We're going to shuffle these to get any last answers. This reading is also kind of seeming to be a little bit shorter than the others, but I mean, it is what it is. These messages are just coming through really fast, I guess. But the other two cards that we have now, we have Pisces, I believe, and then we also have 12th house, which is also connected to Pisces. Oh my goodness, this is all about your dreams and believing in your dreams, believing in yourself, not allowing your subconscious to kind of come through and knock you down with fears, This is about you really rising up out of your old emotions, out of the emotions that maybe keep you worried or in your own shell or hiding, because the 12th house is where we kind of like to hide, where we like to keep our secrets, where we feel kind of more safe and more comfortable. So this is kind of getting outside of your comfort zone, having the strength to step outside of your comfort zone and to just trust and believe in whatever it is that you're dreaming about, your big dreams. Just trust and believe in them, because this is something that is developing. It is happening. Is it ever? Yeah. This is definitely major vibes of like deep dreams that you have that are in the process of creation. So let's try to get Any last cards on this reading? Group 5. Group 5. I'm really feeling this top card. Ooh, heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. Any other last info for group number 5? Let's see. There's 2 cards that just fell on the floor. Let's see what they are. We have the return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. Yes, that makes so much sense. And then we also have the thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. So there's something where we need to kind of like heal our emotions and heal our heart. We might be kind of like at times a little bit harsh on ourselves. We might be too hard on ourselves and taking our power away by saying like, oh, I'm not worthy of that, or like, who am I to want that or to do that? Like, am I even worthy of that? Do I even have what it takes? Am I even mature enough? Do I know enough? Am I, you might be like questioning yourself, but this is about heart healing and healing your emotional state and realizing that like you are worthy of whatever this is. This is all about calling your power back and about being able to share your wisdom and share what you know, share who you are with that full confidence. And then we have the new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. So you get to decide who you are and what you're worthy of and what you desire to do. You get to create a new story for yourself and decide like, hey, I'm not gonna tell myself the old story that diminishes myself and my worth. You get to decide, you get to align yourself to whatever it is that you desire. It's slowly coming together. Like, whatever it is that you're desiring and wanting, it's coming together. Protect yourself, put up those proper boundaries. Don't allow people to steal your shine. Be so sure in who you are that nobody could tell you any different. Start to encourage yourself in the direction you want to be, that you want to become, right? Rather than tearing yourself down, because we can discourage ourselves by telling ourselves all the reasons why we cannot do something or all the reasons why, why something hasn't happened for us. But that's diminishing our power. That's us taking our power away. So it's time to take your power back, group number 5, by telling yourself the encouraging things like, hey, I am worthy. I can do this. I am inspiring. I am creative. I do have the ability to do this. I have so much to offer. All the things that you can tell yourself is start to protect yourself and give yourself that sort of encouragement. Set boundaries in your life to where there's no negativity. You don't allow negativity in, okay? And clear communication. Maybe this is about you starting to be more clear on what it is that you want and starting to open up about that and starting to also speak more clearly, right? Because the swords can also talk about our mind, our speaking, and our communication. So it's time to be very confident. Be a warrior in your communication. It's time to not care what other people think. A huge theme for you, I think, group number 5, is to stop caring what other people think, to just really be you and encourage yourself. Speak more from the heart of like love rather than tearing yourself down, because that's going to help you get to your end goal, because it's a solid yes, it's coming for you. But it's all about you stepping into your power. And it's going to come quicker as you step into your power and as you step into your confidence of knowing who you are and knowing that you are this. You are this. This is you. And the more you own that, the quicker it's going to come in. So that is what we have for you, group number 5. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it made sense for you. If it did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I would love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye.